very shortly. Right, let's go.
SEGA!
Oh yes, it's day 3 of the SEGAthon, and it's time for Daytona! But we will not be going away, we will be here for at least 8 hours giving you more SEGA action than you can wave a Mega Drive at. I am Volkamar, I am joined by the lovely Tanner. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, kind of tired, but you know what? That's the sacrifices we make for this great cause.
True that, true that. Although, then again, it's not so bad for me. I mean, I usually get up at about 9-10 o'clock anyway, so it's like, yeah, I'm pretty much awake anyway, so, yeah, it's fine. So here we go. Let us get started right away, because I've given myself at least half an hour for this game. We may not necessarily need all of it, but what I wanted to do is to give myself enough time to race a couple of arcade mode tracks. I'm going to try and play them on normal, and if I don't get a win, I'll run for it again and set the difficulty to easy, just to see how much excitement we can get here.
Did we get the mirror mode track incentive?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'm going to leave that open until I am done with the expert track. So, pretty much after.
So, if you would like to see the mirror mode tracks, because I'm just grabbing the sheet now if we have our incentives done. But just in case, remember you can always donate. It is over in the title of the video. We will be linking it periodically as well. In fact, I'll be doing that right away here. Yeah, and actually we did have one donation last night, which of course we couldn't read because no one was streaming at the time. That's just $25 from Anonymous. It says, "Good luck, Snake. Glad to donate for this good cause."
Yes, he'll be on later on to play Afterburner and Fighters Megamix, I believe. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I believe that is what he'll be playing.
I think it might have been changed over to Virtua Fighter, but let me, again, go check. I don't have the schedule up. I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I can distract them with my not-so-mad racing skills, but they're at least passable.
All right, so what is your experience with Daytona USA? Where did you learn about it before, or is it a newer game you learned about, went back to? Did you play in the arcades?
It was a little bit of in the arcades, but they also had it in the bowling alley that's fairly local to me. So whenever we'll get done with bowling and laser tag, I'd usually get a game or two of Daytona in there as well. Although I have to admit I'm a little bit rustier than I would like. I did manage to get some practice in, but some of these tracks get really, really tricky, and the AI is arcade challenging, let's just put it that way.
It is Fighters Megamix. It is still going, so that is still happening. That's good if you want to see Bark the Polar Bear beat up the car from Daytona.
Yeah, true,
Go watch that. That's still a weird game, in a cool way.
Yeah, I mean, it has like Jotaro Kujo in there, or at least like his half-brother or something.
Well, Bon is based on Jotaro. Well, it's not based on Jotaro, it's based on the Boncho, stereotype in Japan, which I have actually ran into once it was like the first day of university. I was there, and there was I was walking around the school, and there was a bunch of pompadoured guys crouching and smoking cigarettes at one of the smoking stations, and I'm like, they exist. Nice. They're real. They're at my school here in Canada. It was amazing.
It must have been a very surreal experience to kind of see that IRL, when previously you probably would have only heard about it in media, and that probably exaggerated to boot.
Yeah, no, they had the full pompadours and everything, and they were crouching and even wearing like black kind of stylish outfits, and I'm like, where am I? What happened? It was awesome.
I can imagine. Well, we got 4th place playing on like the standard difficulty, which is definitely not much to sneeze at. I believe in one of my practice runs I managed to get 2nd, but let's just put a name in as well. Just go blah, 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 and then we'll give it a try and tone down the difficulty and see if we can't get 1st place that way.
Yep, for sure.
I accidentally pressed the button too much. Hold up. There's actually one thing about this version, which I'm playing on the PS3 version, by the way, just to let you guys know. I believe it's still available to buy. They didn't do one of those things where they sort of like have it there and then they just suddenly remove it for some reason. But one feature they actually have in this is a replay feature. So, well, it's not a replay feature, it's a rewind feature. Where you can rewind up to a certain point. So if you fuck up a corner and just completely wreck your car, you could just rewind time back to just before the corner and then try and do it better.
Oh, so this is Daytona USA, the Sands of Time. Okay.
Exactly. This is basically Prince of Persia, but you're in a car.
Okay, no joke, that sounds so cool.
Well, imagine just Daytona, but with chariot racing instead.
Sweet, a question from Green Viper 8, who says, you're going to show off the arcade music for entering certain names, Volk?
I can't actually remember any of them, to be honest with you, but if you can look them up ahead of time, I will certainly do so.
I'm going to type in Daytona USA name music, and hopefully it comes up. Name entry jingles, perhaps? Sega and Sonic Retro?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Let's see here. Oh, wow, yeah, there's a whole bunch here. Wow, there's a whole bunch.
Alrighty, well, when I get across the finish line, give me a random one and I'll type it in.
Okay. Let's see here. I gotta pick one. There's some non-Sega ones here, which are a bit confusing.
Yeah, the difference between normal and easy in this game is almost night and day levels. Like, I'm only on the 5th lap, but I'm already in first place. Whereas before, I was struggling just to get to first during the final lap. The nice thing about easy as well is that it can afford you, like, a mistake or two as well, and it won't, like, penalize you with time overs or anything like that, generally speaking. You have to fuck up at least a few times for that to happen. But yeah, most of my time trying to prepare for this game is trying to get a feel of the courses as best I can, and also practicing my power slides. Which if you can master, it is...
Practicing power slides is something you should do every day in your life, honestly.
Well, provided you could get away with it. I mean, straight racing is outlawed in more than a couple of places, I'd wager.
Not in parking lots. You can legally do whatever you want in a parking lot because the rules of the road do not apply there.
Yeah, I guess so. Just find yourself a massive car park and I suppose you'll be fine. And go! Alright then. Lay onto me a name to type in.
Alright, how about, okay, M.M.
M.M, okay. I like these little victory lap things you get from time to time. Well, I think you have to come at least third to get these, and then you get like a little portrait of all the developers. Like, literally just cut-pasted their faces over the top of actual racing dudes.
Guys, we're not putting in ass as the name, we're getting the secret music.
Actually, to be honest, if it like came up with the advert, like the little jingle at the end for Deke, I would actually put DIC in there. Alright, so M.M.
Yes.
Alright, let's see what this does then.
Let's play Guess the Tune.
Okay, did that actually do anything? I don't think it did. Unless I had to do something else for it, I don't know.
It was supposed to play Super Hang-On.
Huh. Okay, it did not do that. Unless it's M and M and not M.M. Oh, well, we'll just keep trying different ones and we'll see what we get. So now we are going to go back onto normal and try the Add Advanced track, where we get the longer version of the main theme of Daytona USA. Alright, so it's probably worth mentioning that even though I do have some experience with Daytona USA, I do also have like a little bit of experience with Sega Rally, and there was another game which was like graphically ahead of its time on the Mega Drive. It was like a polygonal Formula 1 game. I can't quite remember the name of it, but it ran at like 5 frames per second. It looked alright, actually. Obviously, it hasn't aged well now, but, you know, these sort of things don't tend to when they try to sort of bite off more than they can rightfully chew on the graphics department.
So remember, guys, if you donate, we will be reading off your donations here. We haven't got any since the start here, but be sure to get some in. And remember, if we can get the mirror mode tracks going, that'd be super cool, because I think we are at... Let's see here. We're only at $45 of 200. Will someone get us to do mirror mode so that we can listen to these glorious songs more?
Well, I'll tell you what I'll probably end up doing is if we do meet the target, I'll probably do all the reverse tracks with the arranged version of each song.
Oh, okay.
Just to show that off, because the arranged versions, they're a bit of an acquired taste, but it's always worth listening to at least once.
It's nice to have some remixes, even if you don't like them as much, just for the sake of variety.
Well, the weird part about the arranged version is, like in this song, for example, when they say Daytona, the guy literally sounds like he's saying gay boner. Like, it is uncanny.
See, I've listened to them, and I've never heard that, but maybe that's because my mind doesn't go those places usually.
Yeah, but the thing is, he gives you no choice. It sounds so much like he's saying gay boner, it's just like, what the hell? I'm taking these corners a little bit wider than I would like, but I'm having to get used to braking a little earlier than I would normally do.
See, Flame says he never heard it, and if Flame never heard it, then I'm sure nobody did.
I don't know, I think I linked it in the Discord chat earlier.
Tanner, didn't you ship Bayo and John? Yes. Why is that? Why is that coming up here?
Well, it is a SEGAthon, I suppose. I mean, all things Sega are celebrated here, not just what's on the screen at the moment.
I do wish that actual NASCAR racing was this fast and fun, because honestly, they just go around an oval track for like 3 hours, and it's not as cool.
Alright, so I'm going to take the opportunity to show you the rewind now, because I mess up that corner and I don't want to mess up that corner. So you can rewind to a certain point, and depending on how many times you play through the game and come first, I believe, you do actually get, nope, that still didn't do it. The mistake never happened. Alright, let's try braking here. Now see, that was too early. So we can go back again. You only get a certain number of times you can actually do this, so it's not overly ripe for abuse, but you can still abuse it somewhat if you played the game enough times. Alright, you know what, it's not perfect, but I'll take it. See if we can recover things in the final lap. Yeah, like I said, normal doesn't really allow much in the way of mistakes if you want to get a high position. I mean, you can still screw up a few times and still make for time, but yeah, good luck actually beating the AI.
Well, I mean, it is an arcade game, and they are actually meant to steal your money. That is their entire purpose.
Exactly.
So I have a dumb question. Is the Hornet car like an actual copyrighted car, or is it just something they made up?
I'm pretty sure it's something they made up.
Cause yeah, it's in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, but they don't ever call it the Hornet. So I was like, is it a copyright thing? It's made up. I was wondering. For some reason, I always thought it was a real thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they don't refer to it specifically as the Hornet. Oh, let me try this M.M thing again and see what happens.
Well, try A.B, because people say they confirm that A.B is, Afterburner. Alrighty
then, A.B. Oh, there we go.
Maybe M.M just didn't work.
Possibly. But hey, at least we got it. At least we got something, so we know it's not like a complete lie.
And hey, the Afterburner theme is so good. It's been in almost 3 marathons so far. Or 3 games of the marathon, and we haven't even played it yet.
Yep, and that will make a 4th when it does appear. I wouldn't say it's like overly iconic theme for Sega, but it's definitely up there.
It got a remix by Hatsune Miku. I think it's up there.
Alright, okay. If that's the case, yeah, maybe so.
The fact, because it's like, it's one of the few Sega themes that is in Smash Bros, so I'd say it's pretty up there.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Miku is bae, so I agree, says Flame. Yep. Oh yeah, in all the Miku music rhythm games, there's a whole bunch of Sega stuff in there. There's Afterburner. I think there's Outrun. I think Splash. Wait, there's some Outrun song. And then there's a couple other Sega ones that I can't even think of right now. But it's cool to see.
Indeed. I mean, it's always cool when you get to see like some Sega staples just make it into something.
Yeah, and then they all have Sega outfits too. Miku has Sonic. Kaito has the ninja from Virtua Fighter. Some Valkyria Chronicle ones in there. It's a Puyo Pop costume. It's cool stuff. Those games are actually pretty fun. It's just a shame that people look at them and they go, ugh, anime. But like, they're actually super decent music rhythm games that are not too hard and just the right amount of fun.
Oh yeah, although there is that one song I remember in one of the Miku games that was just... one of the things just required you to make so many button presses in a second is absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah, no, if you crank it up to the highest difficulty, it is nearly humanly impossible to play. Like, it is ridiculous. But it's, at least the newest Miku one on PS4 is actually pretty good for beginners, and it's just a good music rhythm game.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking about is like one of those songs where Miku just speaks incredibly fast.
Oh,
I can't remember the name of it.
It's The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku, because that literally just has her blabbering at one point, and yeah, you just get buttons all over there.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Don't ask why I have such knowledge of Hatsune Miku. I had a phase, okay? I had a phase!
Hey, you don't need to be ashamed of it, my dude. It's absolutely fine. There we go. And break. Power slide.
Alright, we have a $25 donation. Good morning, everyone. The Lord of Darkness here, providing a donation for a new marathon in order to help the kids. Thanks, Satan. Always good to see you guys do another charity marathon. Put this towards the runner's choice. I think that should go towards Daytona, right?
Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, if we can get more Daytona in there, I would be quite happy.
Alright, we're up to $70 for Daytona out of 200. Can we get that? Can we meet it?
Well, either way, I reckon we'll put in a good effort regardless. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. Rewind! Oh, wait, I can't rewind past that point. Excuse me? Oh, god damn it. Alright, I guess we're stuck with this mistake.
That was the Xehanorto.
Hey, nice. Thank you very much, Xehanorto.
It says there's no option to put my name. You can just input it at the end by just putting like a dash, then your name. We can read that out that way. But no, you're right, Lord of Darkness, Xehanort, there you are. What if the car from Daytona is one of the Xehanorts?
How would you even tell? Would you have to look? I mean, headlights are usually like a yellowy tint anyway.
Well, no, if we go off the Cars World universe, it's his windshield would be.
Now I'm just picturing Lightning McQueen as a Xehanort. Like he's just suddenly like all black with like yellow tinges everywhere, and like his eyes have got like yellow irises.
Wow, it's too late.
Of course,
Sora.
a dinosaur appeared. Yeah, there's like a few like random things here and there that you can find on the tracks. Some of them are a little bit more subtle, but it's mostly there in plain sight, so you can hopefully spot it. Alright, bestow upon me another name.
So let's find another one that we like. Let's get another jingle that we've heard a couple times here. Where is it? Let's see here. S.H. You could probably guess what that one is.
S.H. That would be Space Harrier.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a special jingle if you put in sex as well.
Oh, God. All right, we've got to try that next. I am such a child, I swear to God. All right, back onto normal difficulty. Let us see how much expert kicks our ass.
Mater is one of the chosen Keyblade wielders.
Oh, jeez. All right, so here we go. We got to fly sky high and go to gay bar. That is the rule of the song. So that is what we must do.
Wait, what? They announced the new Digimon game for PS4. It's gonna play like this guy and also be on Switch. Oh my God!
Oh, that sounds awesome. I did hear about this. Is it Digimon Survive or is that the one that's coming out on the Switch?
No, I haven't heard about this at all. Where did we? Oh, also normal Goku and Vegeta is announced as DLC fighters in Dragon Ball. Oh boy, great. But
because
no,
we needed another fucking Goku and Vegeta. What the hell?
Give me that sick Digimon news. Oh wow, here we go. Yeah, it's called Digimon Survive.
Yeah, it's coming out on the Switch as well, apparently.
Oh, that's so good. Oh,
I mean, I'm a big fan of Disgaea. Or Disgaea. So, yeah. Combine Digimon with that, I mean, it can't really go much better than Cyber Sleuth, but who knows? This might be the one that does.
It looks post-apocalyptic and super dark, and I'm super into this. Okay, yeah, okay, but back to the actual. Also, Kefla for Xenoverse. That's fine. I don't care.
Although I just don't understand why they're making another Goku and another Vegeta when they have like literally hundreds of other characters to choose from. It makes no sense. Get it.
Normal Goku is slightly different because he can Spirit Bomb, and normal Vegeta can. Well, I think it's one thing that is kind of cool is I think it's meant to be like early Goku and early Vegeta, like it's like Saiyan arc stuff. So at least you're not gonna get stupid stuff like times 20 Kaioken blue Kamehameha. It's just gonna be like Spirit Bomb, Galagun, and hop on the Nimbus, and hopefully a Power Pole. Hopefully.
Alright, toughest corner in the game. Come on! And I still crash into the wall. Actually, there was one part when I was in practice where I literally spun out in that corner and somehow still managed to make it almost flawlessly. But yeah, this is a very, very tough track. It might take me a couple of tries to do this potentially, but that's kind of why I gave myself half an hour.
It is the expert track. It is for experts only.
And yet some... Oh! Yep, that was quite the epic crash. Hold on. Let's just pretend that never happened.
Okay, here we go. Base Vegeta will have the Galagun Super. It'll also have Galaxy Breaker. Base Goku will have Kaioken. That will let Goku perform consecutive attacks with button combinations. Oh, so you can break... Oh, great. When an ally falls, Kaioken will be increased by 3 times or 20 times. They'll also have Super Spirit Bomb. Okay, sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but 20 is what you used against Frieza initially, wasn't it?
What was that?
20 times Kaioken is what you used against Frieza initially, wasn't it?
You're asking the wrong person.
No worries.
I'm a fake Dragon Ball fan.
That's alright, as long as you recognize yourself as such. I mean, I'm not really, I wouldn't say I'm a true fan either, like, I couldn't tell you, like, the blood type of each individual character, but, you know, I know a thing or two.
Alright, we got a $30 donation. Hey Tanner, it's Flame. Please say my name and validate me.
God damn it, Flame.
Flame. Aight, cool. Thanks, dude. It's not set to go towards anything. If you want to put it towards something, you should probably tell us.
Yeah, noob, you should know this.
Yeah, you of all people, come on, man. ASMR flame. No, let's not. I might do ASMR monkey ball though, if people really want it to. I just added it, like I said, in chat. Oh, he did it himself. Okay. Because of course he can.
Damn. That kind of went not very well, but that's okay. This is a tough track. It might take a little while to get my bearings. Alright, let's try that again. I'll tilt down the difficulty, and I'll wait to do the time limit, because I feel like maybe I should be able to do this without the time limit if the overall difficulty's a little bit better.
We have people saying no ASMR monkey ball and people saying yes ASMR monkey ball.
Well, I think you know what you have to do. You have to record like an alternate version. Or have someone re-host the stream and just provide their own commentary. ASMR
I will strike
style.
in protest if you do ASMR monkey ball. But like, if you don't know what ASMR is, just look up right now Funky Kong ASMR and you will know exactly what we would be doing for this.
You can always make it a bit more. And like every time one's over the other, you just switch it up.
I just go from hi guys, welcome to Monkey.
What's up, dudes? We're now doing some monkey ball, so we're just gonna be
Exactly.
with, monkeys a bit here. It's gonna be...
And we're back to normal. Hi everyone, welcome back. That'd be pretty fun. But also, I feel if people just tuned into me chewing into the microphone, people would be a little freaked out. A little freaked out there.
I will admit, on the PS3 version of this game, the only way you can actually steer is by using the analog stick, and it's a little bit trickier than using the D-pad. But thankfully, this game has steering wheel support, but I'm not a hardcore racing enthusiast, so I don't have a wheel. Otherwise, I would totally do it for authenticity's sake.
Blaming the controller. What are these Johns?
It's not so much blaming the controller, but it's more explaining an oddity, whereas a lot of games would allow you to steer via the D-pad to make more precise turns a lot easier. This game doesn't allow you to do that. The D-pad is purely for the camera.
No Johns, Volk. You can't do it. You gotta be. Well, no, that makes sense because there's the camera buttons on the arcade there, so you have to put them in somewhere.
Yeah, and the gears are normally put on the face buttons, but you can switch up and down quickly using the shoulder buttons.
You just rammed that car off into the side. This is Daytona without limits.
Indeed it is. Alright, I took that corner a little better than I did in previous attempts, so I'm reasonably happy with that.
I like how Sega Japan just thinks we have pirate ships in the docks.
Of course.
Just as we do.
Well, I just got a random statue of Jeffrey in here as well.
Well, I mean, of course, we got to represent our Lord and Savior Jeffrey.
Lord of Virtual Fighter, or Virtua Fighter.
It used to be a statue of Wolf, but they took it down.
Apparently, if you there's a special button that you can press, and you can actually upheave the Jeffrey statue and make it so it's upside down. But you have to basically stop your car and spam select on it. So don't do it in a serious race, for God's sake.
One of those secrets. Yeah, there you go. It's select. It's a shame that the select button is no longer a thing on the PS4 controller.
It's now the share button.
Big Head Jeffrey mode.
Oh.
Thanks for that.
Big Head Virtua Fighter was the shit back in the day.
Wait, is that actually a thing?
I'm pretty sure it is, or at least in one capacity.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I know there's the Virtua Fighter Kids, which has them with the big heads and stuff.
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure Virtua Fighter did actually have a proper big head mode.
Oh, interesting. That doesn't sound competitive.
Oh no, but it's fun.
R.I.P. PS2 controller design.
Alright, let's see if we can eke our way into first place. Well, it's not so much getting first place, it's making it, like, with the timer. Because we only got, like, 10 seconds left.
And they fly up.
I'm not sure
You
if I'm
can
gonna
do this. You
No,
can
I've only got
do
4
this.
seconds.
I Habib in you.
Sorry, but Habibing ain't gonna cut it. But that's okay, we got 4th this time, so we're getting better. It's more just that timer. It is so strict on this stage. But it might just be because I haven't quite mastered how, like, to properly do the hairpin turns in, like, really good time, but we'll put up the time limit as well, and hopefully we should get it on our 3rd time's a charm attempt.
Why is that arcade racing games put a timer on you? It's simple. It's so that the person behind you waiting in line to put their money in could get there faster. Like, it sounds bad, but remember, arcades are literally meant to steal your money. That's why they exist.
Yeah, and it gives you bragging rights when you can complete a game only using, like, a single quarter or, like, a 50 pence or whatever it is that a machine would charge you in whatever country you're in.
I remember there was one racing game that my cousin and I were at a hotel, and we were there playing this arcade racing game, and it was so easy for some reason. I think they must have cranked the dip switch for the difficulty down to minimum, but like we put in 1 quarter, 25 cents, and we were able to play for like 20 minutes because every time you won, you got another race. So we were just able to keep winning because it was so easy, and like there was no worries about anything ever losing. Like, it got to a point where we just had to leave the machine because we kept winning. And so that's why they don't make it easy, because if you keep winning, then you're there forever. Thankfully, we were the only ones there. But that it was a bit weird. I don't know what it was. It was a kind of cool racing game, though. It was it was like very arcadey. It wasn't very simulation-y like this. You could do tricks and stuff. And there was like a weird space track, and it was fun, though.
Certainly sounds it. I do have a similar story with this game, but it's more that I approached the machine and I noticed it had a credit in there, but nobody had claimed it, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just sit down and just play a game of Daytona for a bit whilst people are, like, on the loo or whatever. And turns out there was about 9 or 10 credits in that machine at the time, so I got, like, 9 or 10 free races of Daytona.
Yeah, it's like I remember one time I went to I was at a place and they had an Indiana Jones arcade cabinet, and for some reason there was like $30 worth of credits put in there. Like it said plays 45, and I'm like, oh. So I was able to play that forever, and then there was too many balls on the field and the whole game locked up because I got multi-ball twice in a row, and I was like, whoops.
Oh dearie me. The days of pinball as well. That's another arcade staple you don't see very often nowadays.
We have a pinball convention that goes on here, and it's like when that happens, they bring out like 100 cabinets there, set them all to free play, and set them up in a military base, and it's just like, go there, have fun.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I'd love to go there.
Yeah, it's like a 2-day event. There's food and stuff. It's kind of awesome.
Certainly sounds it. I'd definitely go. The closest I think I've ever had to something like that was when I went to the Dorset Steam Fair at one point. And there was literally a guy who just had like this little, I wouldn't say it's so much it was like a tent, and it just was set up with about 4 or 5 pinball machines, and there were like a couple of like really old-timey like arcade machines as well, like the ones where it's all games you've commonly seen in like those weird bath games where you gotta like press the air things and try and get all the hoops into a particular scoring thing. Sort of like pachinko, but not quite.
Oh, that's crazy. Green Viper raised a good point. This came out the same year as Star Fox. That really shows the difference between where arcades were at the time and consoles there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it showed that given like enough development and what have you, you could sort of get there, but you are sacrificing a shit ton of frame rate to do so. I think it wasn't until like the PS1 era when we started like properly seeing the divide between arcade and home consoles really come together. It was around the time House of the Dead was happening, because the console version of House of the Dead was actually very close to the real version.
it's kind of weird. Everyone in the chat is so nostalgic about arcade games, and I mean, rightfully so. Even I am. But then you remember they're just made to steal your money.
Oh yeah, which is why it's cool when you can sort of like just play them on the home console and just not give a shit.
Yeah. No, and that's why I know. That's why they waited so long for some of the arcade games to be ported, and it literally just comes down to we don't want them to be able to play it and not want to go to the arcades.
I love how they just make the cars do acrobatics for you whilst you come first in this race. It's just like, yeah, we're just gonna crash into each other for your amusement. All right, bestow upon me one more name, if you could, please.
Well, it said Sex has one, so why don't we do that?
Yeah, I suppose that's what we got to end on, I suppose. O-V-E-R-G-A-M-E-O-V-E-R. Game over, game over, game over, game over. Alright, let's see what happens. I'm willing to bet it will actually just change it into something else.
Sonic runs by and says, no cussing in my Christian Mindsets craft server.
Alright, let's see what happens. Goss. I'm not sure what goss means, but, yeah, apparently it won't let you have sex. Sorry, guys.
Goss.
This game has declared abstinence to be the only form of safe sex. All right. So after all that, do we have any last-minute donations before I set up for Space Harrier 2?
The answer is no. So sadly, we will not be doing the mirror mode tracks. Thank you all for joining us, though. And remember that you can still donate for the other incentives that are going on after this one, including Phantasy Star 4. Character to be taken to the final fight bid war, so you get the choice of Raja, Demi, Han, Kyra, and Grizz. No one has voted on that, so choose your favorite party member for that, as well as the 2 bid wars for Knights, whether we play the Saturn or PS2 version. Saturn version is behind at $15, PS2 is at $31. And also, which song is Richie going to sing? The original Dreams or the Sweet Snow version from the sequel? So the original Dreams is also losing at $2, and Sweet Snow is winning at $10. So you can vote on those. And yeah.
Sounds good to me. I'm looking forward to seeing how that Phantasy Star 4 bid war goes, because even if you don't necessarily know the characters, the game gives you quite more than enough time to actually get a handle of like who the favorites might be. So, you know, you've got like the ones that might swear by the waifu characters, or the one that like the dandy old man, or like the weird beast man dude, or just the regular asshole who just found himself in the midst of all this. It'll be very exciting to see how that goes. So, if you're not familiar with the characters, you can probably get a handle of like what they might be like just by sort of looking up images of them on Google, I guess. Although I will say, be careful, because as we all know, the internet has some weird shit on it. You have been warned. All right, I am going to stop the stream for just a little while, and when I get back, we'll play some Space Harrier 2. But until then, I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, and I'll see you for Monkey Ball. Bye.